Yeah, good morning students. Continuation of haloalkanes and haloarenes. Right, last class discussed about elimination reactions. You know the elimination reaction. Generally, haloalkane with containing beta hydrogen atom. So react with in presence of Na base. There is an elimination of beta hydrogen, that means elimination of hydrogen atom from beta carbon as well as elimination of halogen from alpha carbon. That is nothing but elimination reactions, nothing but beta elimination. Why it is called beta elimination? Elimination of hydrogen takes place from beta carbon. That is nothing but elimination reactions. These elimination reactions are two types. One is E1, second is E2. E1 means unimolecular elimination. E2 means bimolecular. 2 means bimolecular elimination reactions. So these are two types. One is E1, second is E2. E1 means unimolecular elimination reactions. E2 means bimolecular elimination reactions. Let us see first one. What is the E1 reaction or E1 mechanism? E1 means what? Unimolecular, one for unimolecular elimination reactions. Let us see. Here generally these reactions are favored by these reactions. These reactions takes place in presence of weak base. In presence of weak base like water, alcohol. That means this reaction favored only takes place in presence of weak base like water, alcohol. And second point here, E1 reaction same look like SN1 mechanism only. Now here rate is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide, nothing but only depend upon the concentration of alkyl halide, nothing but substrate molecule only. Here does not depend upon the base or nucleophile. Here rate is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide. That's why it is the first order kinetics. Right, here see, in this one, in E1 reaction, you can observe majorly two steps. Step 1, what you form, they are observing two steps. Step 1, first is to form the slow ionization, slowly takes place reaction, that is slowly ionization and form carbocations. That means step 1 they form the ionization, that is the rate determined step. It undergoes slow ionization to form the carbocation. And step 2, in step 2 the nucleophile attack on. So step 2, nucleophile attack on the carbocation. This nucleophile attack on the carbocation to form more substituted alkene. We can form. So according to Sage-Jaffe rule, you know Sage-Jaffe rule, in dehydrohalogenation reactions, the preferred product is with the alkene which are having greater number of alkyl groups attached to the double bond carbon. So here this E1 reaction involving two steps. First one to ionization to form the carbocation, And second step, nucleophile, the base or nucleophile which attack on carbocation to form the more substituted alkene can be obtained according to Sage-Jaffe rule. Let us see one example based on E1 reaction. E1 reaction or E1 elimination reaction. Let us see an example. If we take in a tertiary compound, carbon here CH3, here CH3, here CH3, here take halogen iodine in presence of weak base. So, in presence of weak base, here what happened? Let us see. Here they form the, here one proton can be extracted. Here taking water molecule, here you can obtain product is carbon, here CH3, here carbon CH3. One proton come outside, here carbon single bond become double bond, plus they form the hydronium ion. So this is the general reaction. So here see if we take a tertiary compound in presence of base, so our nucleophile, here they form what? They can form alkene plus hydronium ion. Let us see, this involving two steps. Step 1. In step 1 what happened? First of all, this compound, the tertiary compound, carbon here CH3, here CH3, here CH3, here iodine. So first of all, the compound can be takes place, bond breaking takes place. So here this takes place bond breaking. So this is called the slow step, this takes place. This is called the rate determined step. So first the tertiary compound in the here carbon halogen bond breaks place, they form the carbocation. See carbon here CH3, here also CH3, here also CH3. This carbon get carbocation, iodide can be leaving as iodide ion. This is the leaving group. That means E1 reaction, first of all, in step 1 what happened? To form the carbocation. So this one takes slowly ionize and bond breaking takes place to form the carbocation. That is step 1. They form what? Carbocation. Second step we can see. Second step. Step 2 what happened? In step 2, this carbocation, so this is the carbocation, carbon having CH3, second step C. This is the carbocation, here CH3, here also CH3, here carbon having plus charge, here C. This carbon having plus charge, here also CH2, here CH3. This carbocation in presence of base, here water molecule act as a base. Now this is the attacking here, proton attacking takes place. They form the compound. See carbon which here one side CH3 group. Here carbon having this side CH3 group. Here CH3 group. Here on proton or it taking here single bond become double bond CH2 plus they form the hydronium ion. This is the process takes place in E1 reactions. So that means here see, so here first step slow step and second reaction takes place fast reaction. This is the information about E1 reaction, nothing but unimolecular elimination reactions, same like SN1 mechanism only. So how you form SN1 mechanism, 2 steps, same process involving here. Here also step 1 they form the carbocation, and second step the water molecule act as weak base, the weak base and attacked by the carbocation, they form the alkene. So this is the information about E1 reaction. Here main point is E1 reactions or unimolecular elimination reactions always takes place weak base only. Second point is the first order kinetics. So this is the information about E1 reaction, nothing but unimolecular elimination reactions. Right. Next one we can see. Next reaction is E2 reaction. E2 means what? Bimolecular elimination reactions. Same is also look like SN2 reaction. Let us see here. Here what happened here? Here this is the second order kinetics. Why it is called the second order kinetics? Here rate is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halide and base or nucleophile. So here rate is depend upon the two components, two substrate molecules. One is alkyl halide, second is base, nothing but nucleophile. So this is belongs to what? Second order kinetics. Here this reaction takes place. So these reactions takes place in presence of strong base. In presence of strong base it can takes place. Strong base like aqueous NaOH or aqueous KOH or tertiary carbocation carbon ion or nothing but sodamide. So these E2 bimolecular elimination reactions always takes place in presence of strong bases only. So like aqueous KOH or tertiary components or sodamide or other compounds. So these reactions always proceed through in presence of strong base required. This is the second order kinetics. Here rate is directly proportional to the concentration of alkyl halides, nothing but substrate molecule, and base, nothing but eliminating reagent or eliminating agent. Let us see one example. Here see. Example, see, this is general reaction. Here in this one, here see, suppose take any alkyl halide. This is the base. Here see, this is a base. See, if you take any alkyl halide, see, this is alpha carbon, this is the beta carbon. Here see, this reaction takes place first step, slow step. They form the transition state. Here base is attacking here proton. They form the transition state like this, see. Or here carbon having hydrogen, here also hydrogen, here also hydrogen, here also hydrogen, here halogen. Halogen can be departing, so proton can be attacking here. They form here, base is there, base attack and proton, they form the bond. This is nothing but what? Transition state. Transition state. This transition state is unstable state. That means here see, an alkyl halide is compulsory having beta hydrogen. So we can here base attack and proton. So the single bond become what happened? Double bond. Before they form, this is what? Transition state. Transition state is what? Unstable state. Once base attacking, see the product we can obtain. So this reaction takes place single step. Then we can see RCH, double bond, CH, here CH, here C, and they form base. They form base with a proton. Halide can be outside, which can be leaving group. This is a general reaction of E2. So they form what? Alkene can be obtained. Here they obtain what? Alkene. This is a general reaction. First of all, with haloalkane with beta hydrogen atom react with in presence of any strong base or aqueous KOH. Aqueous KOH. So in presence of aqueous KOH, what happen? Reaction first takes slow step. Then after reaction will be fast. Clear? So this slow step is called what? A rate determining step. So in this case, when attacking, base attacking, they form the transition state. Same look like SN2 only. So then immediately what happens? Bond breaking takes place. Here halogen came outside. Here base react with proton. So once proton combine with base, so the single bond become double bond. So they can form the alkene, and base combine with hydrogen to form, and we have halide also, which come out as halide ion. So here B indicate what? Base. B indicate base. Here B indicate what? Base. B indicate base. X for halogen. X indicate halogen. So this is the general reaction of E2. That means in E2 elimination, E2 means what? Bimolecular elimination reaction takes place single step only. First of all, see, beta hydrogen atom compulsory. So haloalkane with beta hydrogen atom takes place in presence of aqueous KOH. They form the transition state, then afterwards form the alkene. So this reaction form the dynamic single step. So that's why it is belongs to what? So it is takes place in presence of strong base, either aqueous KOH or tertiary compound or soda amide. So the condition is important. So the E2 bimolecular elimination reactions always takes place in strong base only. Same look like SN2 mechanism only. So this is the information about E2 mechanism or E2 reaction. Let us see one example about E2 reaction. This is general reaction. We'll see one example. Carbon having, if we take tertiary compound, CH3, here CH3, here take bromine, in presence of strong base, either KOH, OH minus, we can form obtain the product. You can see the product can be obtained alkene, here carbon, this side CH3 group, here CH3 group, here one OH minus combined to form the double bond CH2, water molecule come outside and bromine also will come outside. So this is haloalkane with beta hydrogen atom. So react with in presence of base to form the alkene, plus here one proton, here OH minus combining to form water. Bromine can be coming out as bromide ion. This is called leaving group. This is the general reaction. Right. Let us see this mechanism. Initially what happened is mechanism. Let us see the mechanism. Initially what happened is mechanism. Generally inside here carbon CH3 group, here also CH3, here CH2H, here in presence of proton can be takes place, in presence of base there is a OH minus, in presence of OH minus, this OH minus attacking here proton. So what happened, the product is here carbon, here CH3, one proton can be abstract, single bond become double bond and water molecule come outside. So then halogen also will come outside, halogen will come outside, halogen will come outside. This halogen will come outside as halide ion. This is the mechanism. So here one proton is there, one proton here base combined to form water molecule. Once proton come outside, the single bond become bond shifted this direction. So single bond become double bond. So and water molecule outside and bromide as leaving group. So that means here a rate of reaction depend upon the two factors, concentration of alkyl halide and strong base. So this is belongs to what? Second order kinetics. Same we learn the SN2 reaction. Right. This is information about E2. And next one is elimination versus substitution. Elimination versus substitution reactions. Elimination versus substitution reactions. See, generally alkyl halides, any alkyl halides, generally any alkyl halides which are having beta hydrogen atom react with base or nucleophile. So they can obtain having two competing routes. Generally, any alkyl halide with beta hydrogen atom, how to decide which is undergo elimination, which is undergo substitution. Here there is a competition between elimination reactions, substitution reactions. Generally, an alkyl halide generally see an alkyl halide with beta hydrogen atom. So the statement, an alkyl halide with beta hydrogen atom react with base or nucleophile. Here two competing routes are available. There are two competitions or two competing routes are available. That means an alkyl halide with beta hydrogen atom react with base or nucleophile. Here observing two competing routes. That is, one is takes place substitution reactions. Second is takes place elimination. That means which is undergo substitution, which is undergo elimination. Once the alkyl halide react with a base or nucleophile, they are having two competing routes. There are two ways. Either chances to undergo substitution reactions as well to undergo eliminations. That means in substitution reactions also there are two types. One is what? SN1. Second is what? SN2. In elimination reactions also you can observing. In the elimination reaction also takes place. One is E1. Second is what? E2. That means the meaning is once an alkyl halide react with base, to obtain the reaction undergoes either substitution reactions, either elimination reactions. So there is a competition between elimination and substitution reactions. Suppose an alkyl halide react with base or nucleophile. How can you decide which reaction to undergo substitution, which reaction to undergo are favored by the elimination reactions? That's why an alkyl halide which must be containing generally beta hydrogen atoms which react with base or nucleophile, there are two competing routes are available. That means one is what? Either to undergo substitution or either to undergo elimination. You know substitution reaction two types. That means in substitution also either takes place SN1 mechanism or SN2 mechanism. Same way elimination takes place either E1 mechanism or E2 mechanism. How to decide which is to undergo, which reactions undergo substitution reactions, which reactions to undergo elimination reactions? So here depend upon the strength of the alkyl halide and size or base of the nucleophile and reaction conditions. So it depends on the first condition is it depends upon the size of the base or nucleophile. Second factor, reaction conditions. Third factor is nature of alkyl halides. So it depends upon three factors. Generally alkyl halides react with a base. They are applying two competing routes, that is substitution and elimination. Which is undergo substitution, which is reaction to undergo elimination? It depends upon the majorly three factors. First one what? Size or size of the base or nucleophile. Second factor, reaction condition. Third factor what? Nature of alkyl halides. Generally, if a bulkier nucleophile is a bulkier nucleophile, always will act as a base to abstract the proton from the tetrahedral carbon atoms. Suppose if the nucleophile is bulkier nucleophile, bulky nucleophile means what? More size of the nucleophile. If the bulkier nucleophile is there, the bulkier nucleophile will act as a base which always abstract the proton from the tetravalent carbon atom. Always abstracting. So we can see one example. Example you can see 2-bromopropane. Let us see 2-bromopropane. This compound you can see. Let us see the structure. 2-bromopropane. Here carbon, bromine. Here 3 carbon, hydrogen. Here also hydrogen. Here also hydrogen. Hydrogen, hydrogen. Here also carbon with hydrogen. Here hydrogen. Here also carbon with hydrogen. Here hydrogen, hydrogen, hydrogen. Here see, this is structure of 2-bromopropane. When react with any bulkier nucleophile, suppose take tertiary compound, bulkier nucleophile, here CH3, here CH3, here CH3, here O minus. So this is what? Bulkier nucleophile. This bulkier nucleophile always abstract the proton. This is the bulkier nucleophile, bulkier nucleophile. Because of bulkier nucleophile creating steric hindrance. You know the definition of steric hindrance? Steric hindrance. See, once a bulkier nucleophile can react with 2-bromopropane, what happened? Here when bulky nucleophile means what? Size of the nucleophile will be more, size of the nucleophile. Size will be more. The bulkier nucleophile creating steric hindrance. Suppose when bulkier nucleophile is a tertiary carbon ion, tertiary compound, react with 2-bromopropane. Here what happened? This tertiary or bulkier compound or bulkier nucleophile abstract the proton from where? 2-bromopropane. It is takes place in presence of aqueous KOH, or here takes place always, here elimination only takes place. Elimination. Why take elimination? Why can't take substitution? Here substitution is not possible. Here the reason is nucleophile size is more. Bulkier nucleophile is there. Always abstract the proton from the tetravalent carbon atom. Here substitution not takes place. Why? Here because bulkier nucleophile is size more is there. So it creates steric hindrance. That's why always to favor the elimination reactions. That means nucleophile size must be small only. If size of the nucleophile will be bulky nucleophile like this tertiary carbocation or carbon ion, so size of the bulkier nucleophile can create steric hindrance. Because of steric hindrance, it cannot undergo substitution reactions. Why? Nucleophile size is more. Size of the nucleophile more. That is nothing but bulkier nucleophile. So this bulkier nucleophile creating steric hindrance. That's why it undergoes elimination. That means this bulkier nucleophile can abstract the proton. Abstract means what? Remove. See, attracting proton from 2-bromopropane. So it undergoes elimination. See the product here. One proton undergoes CH3 becomes CH2. Single bond become the single double bond and CHBr and CHBr and single bond CH3. They form CH2 double bond CH and CH3 double bond CH, single bond CH3, and bromine can be outside, so which can be as bromine. So this bulkier nucleophile is there. When react with 2-bromopropane, always takes place elimination. That means here what you can understand, so it depend upon the what I said. So when alkyl halides react with base, so it having two component routes. One is substitution, second is elimination. So here size of the nucleophile is bulky nucleophile, size is more. So always remember when when haloalkanes compulsory contain beta hydrogen atom, when react with base or nucleophile, so here depend upon the size of the nucleophile only. Why? Here size of the nucleophile, small nucleophile easily undergoes substitution, but here nucleophile is bulkier nucleophile, so bulkier nucleophile always takes place elimination reactions only. So in this one, this bulkier nucleophile abstract the proton from tetravalent carbon compound, this compound to undergoes elimination to get the alkene product can be obtained. You know, here one proton can be abstracting. What happened? We can get CH2 single bond become double bond, so CH single bond CH3, bromine as leaving as bromide ion. So this is the example of elimination reactions. So this component what? Propene, CH2 double bond CH CH3, this component of propene. So this is what the react, this component what? 2-bromopropane, 2-bromopropane react with a bulkier nucleophile. So what happened? This bulkier nucleophile always abstract the proton from the tetravalent carbon atom. They undergo elimination. They form what? Alkene. So here the condition what? Here size of the nucleophile will be bulky nucleophile. This bulkier nucleophile creating steric hindrance. You know, he studied steric hindrance more means nucleophile attacking very difficult, you know, studied. So always study in SN1, SN2 mechanism. Always nucleophile size will be very small. So size of the nucleophile more means bulky group means which cannot attacking. Why? Because of steric hindrance. This bulkier nucleophile is size more. Here alkyl group, here alkyl group, here 3 alkyl groups. So more bulky nature. So more bulky group, more size is there. So bulky group, bulkier nucleophile, it creating steric hindrance. It cannot attack directly. So always it abstract the proton which undergoes elimination reaction. That means here, so what happened? When alkyl halides react with a base or nucleophile, it depends upon the one of the factor what? Size of the nucleophile only. If the nucleophile size more, bulkier nucleophile, always favored for the elimination reactions. So now we can see if bulkier nucleophile is there, which undergoes elimination, easily to undergoes elimination to form the alkene. Now let us see, if the nucleophile, small nucleophile, what happened? This is one example. Second example, same compound 2-bromopropane, hydrogen, here also hydrogen, here also hydrogen, here one hydrogen, here one. Same compound, is compound name is 2-bromopropane, 2-bromopropane react with nucleophile, suppose OH minus, this is what? Small nucleophile. Now we can see small nucleophile. Now we can see previous example, same compound 2-bromopropane. Here bulkier nucleophile, what happened? Abstract the proton from the tetravalent carbon atom. Why? It undergoes elimination reaction. So bulkier nucleophile size more is there, we cannot undergo substitution. Always favor for the elimination reaction. But same compound 2-bromopropane react with nucleophile here OH minus. This is a small nucleophile. What happened? This nucleophile easily attacking on the carbon to undergoes in presence of base. So here takes place substitution reactions here takes place. Here substitution reactions takes place. Here they undergoes what? Substitution reactions takes place. So when substitution reaction takes place, they form the bond with carbon, form the bond with OH group. Here see, this side CH3, here hydrogen, here CH3. And bromine as leaving group, bromide ion, this is a leaving group. That means what you can understand, here depend upon the size of the nucleophile. When alkyl halide react with bulkier nucleophile, always favored for the elimination reaction. Suppose alkyl halide react with small nucleophile, here size of the nucleophile very small, easily attacking the with carbon. Here does not take place abstract the proton. Here nucleophile very small size. Here no steric hindrance. That's why nucleophile can easily attacking. So which undergoes substitution reactions. They form the compound. So this is a product. So the product name is what? Propane 2-ol. This compound name is what? What is the product? Propane 2-ol. Alcohol is the OH group means ol. So propane 2-ol. So that means 2-bromopropane react with small nucleophile which undergoes substitution reactions. They form what? Propane 2-ol, and bromine is leaving as bromide ion. This bromide ion act as what? Leaving group. This is the information about which one? So this is the information between, there is an elimination, the comparison between substitution elimination reactions. Generally generally primary alkyl halides always favored for the primary alkyl halides always favored for the SN2 reaction only, SN2 reaction. Because if it undergoes SN1, primary carbocation not stabilized. Suppose because primary carbocation is not stable. Suppose see, what I said here, primary alkyl halides always favored for the SN2 reaction. So because if we undergoes SN1, they form the carbocation, but primary carbocation not stable. You know, carbocations easily to undergo rearrangement, either methyl shift or hydride shift. That's why if it suppose it undergoes SN1, so then SN1 what happened? Compulsory they form the carbocation. That primary carbocation not stabilized. That's why always primary alkyl halide favored for which reaction? SN2 reaction, substitution reaction. In substitution takes place what? SN2 reaction. Now next point. Next, suppose secondary alkyl halide. Next point, secondary alkyl halide always favored for the either SN2 or elimination. 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 Why? It depend upon the reaction conditions. It depend upon the reaction conditions. Either see, secondary alkyl halides either to undergo either SN2 or elimination reactions. Why? It depend upon the reaction conditions. That is the one factor, reaction conditions, and also one more factor, it depend upon the strength, reaction conditions and strength or size of the nucleophile, strength or size of the nucleophile or base. That means what you can observe, primary alkyl halides always favored for SN2 reaction, whereas secondary alkyl halide favor for either SN2 or elimination reaction. How to explain? It depend upon the reaction condition. Another factor what? Size of the nucleophile. Now only see size of the nucleophile we can understand. If the nucleophile size is small size, easy to undergo substitution. If the nucleophile having bulkier nucleophile, which undergoes was elimination reactions. That's why. So secondary alkyl halides either to undergo SN2 or elimination. It depend upon the reaction condition and as well as it depend upon the size of the nucleophile or strength of the base. And next one is tertiary alkyl halides. Tertiary alkyl halides always also takes place either SN2 or elimination reactions. Here SN1. Tertiary alkyl halides either takes place SN1 or elimination reactions. Elimination reaction. So it depends on the stability of carbocation. It depends upon the stability of carbocation. Why? It undergoes SN1 compulsory form the stability of carbocation. Otherwise, suppose it undergo elimination. What happened elimination? Or it depend upon more substituted or stability of carbocation or more substituted alkenes. More substituted alkenes based on the Sage-Jaffe rule. You know Sage-Jaffe rule. Because tertiary alkyl halides to undergo either SN1 or elimination reactions. Suppose it undergo elimination reactions, SN1 reaction, it depends upon the stability of carbocation. Suppose it undergoes eliminations, dehydrohalogenations, what happened? It depends upon the more substituted alkenes. So more substituted alkenes only you can get the major product. That only Sage-Jaffe rule. So according to Sage-Jaffe rule, the preferred product is the alkene which are having more number of alkyl groups as the major product. That means in tertiary alkyl halide always form the more substitute alkenes, or that means elimination versus or SN1. You can take place either SN1 or elimination. Suppose it undergoes SN1, it depends upon the stability of carbocation. Suppose it undergoes elimination, it depends upon the more substituted alkene as the major product according to Sage-Jaffe rule. That means there is a competition. That means how to generalize? So once an alkyl halide react with Na base, they have two competing routes, either to possible to undergo substitution or to undergo elimination reaction. Now, when it undergoes elimination, once the alkyl halide, so it reacts with bulkier nucleophile, always to favor for the elimination reaction. Suppose alkyl halide react with small nucleophile, size of the nucleophile will be, or nucleophile or base will be small. So small size nucleophile always favor for the substitution. Now, generally what you can class? Generally, primary alkyl to undergo SN2 reaction. Because if you undergo SN1, it form the primary carbocation. Primary carbocation not stabilized. Generally, carbocations to undergo rearrangement to getting more stability. So generally, tertiary carbocation more stability, but here forming primary carbocation is not stabilized. So that's why always primary alkyl halide favor for the SN2 reaction. Second case, secondary alkyl halide takes place either SN2 or elimination, depend upon the size of the nucleophile or size of the base. And tertiary alkyl halide always favor for the either SN1 or elimination. Suppose it undergoes SN1, it depends upon the stability of carbocation. Suppose it undergoes elimination, it depends upon the what? More substitute alkenes as the major product. So this is the way of differentiate between elimination versus substitution. And next one is a reaction with metals. A reaction with metals. Reaction metals. What is the reaction metals? Generally, most organic chlorides, or bromides or iodides react with certain metals. To form carbon metal bonds. These are called as organometallic compounds. This is called as what? Organometallic compounds. What is the meaning of organometallic compounds? So this organometallic compounds, how to form? Generally, most of the organic chlorides or bromides, iodides, which are react with certain metals to form the carbon metal bonds. This compounds is called what? What is the meaning? Organometallic compounds. The first time, the scientist name is Victor E. Grignard. First time he discovered the one compound, Victor E. Grignard. Scientist name Victor E. Grignard. in 1900 he discovered the first organic metallic compound. The compound name is what? Alkyl magnesium halide. So R for alkyl, Mg means magnesium, X for alkyl halide. So the compound what? Alkyl magnesium halide. Alkyl magnesium halide. First he prepared the compound what? First Grignard, he prepared the first one what? Alkyl magnesium halide. Who prepared Grignard? That's why it's called what? Grignard reagent. So Grignard reagent is called what? Alkyl magnesium halide is called Grignard reagent. So generally he prepared alkyl halide react with magnesium to obtain the alkyl magnesium halide. So here see alkyl magnesium halide. So alkyl halide react with magnesium in presence of dry ether. So to can obtain what? Alkyl magnesium halide. This is called what? Grignard reagent. Grignard only preparing. That's why it is called what? Grignard reagent. Clear? So this is a Grignard reagent. In the Grignard reagent we can see, suppose for example you can see, if we take any alkyl halide, CH3 ethyl bromide react with magnesium in presence of dry ether, we can get the product. You can see, you can get the product ethyl magnesium halide. See RMgX. So CH3 CH2 MgBr. So ethyl magnesium bromide is called nothing but Grignard reagent. Here ethyl bromide, alkyl halide example, ethyl bromide react with magnesium in presence of dry ether, we can get ethyl magnesium bromide. This is also called as Grignard reagent. Now you will see in the Grignard reagent, see in the Grignard reagent we can see let us see general how to form alkyl halide react with magnesium to form the what? In presence of dry ether we can obtain what? Grignard reagent RMgX. This is called Grignard reagent. Here is negative charge, here positive charge. Yes. Here carbon magnesium bond is covalent character, covalent, and magnesium halogen bond is ionic character. So here Grignard reagent is having halogen having partial negative charge, magnesium partial positive charge. Here alkyl group contain what? Partial negative charge only. Partial negative charge. Here the bond between alkyl group and magnesium is ionic covalent character, and magnesium halogen bond is what? Ionic character. So this covalent is, this is a covalent and highly polar. Suppose see how to suppose a Grignard reagent react with water. Let us see the reaction. Suppose Grignard reagent RMgX react with water, what we can obtain? So we can obtain, see, RH hydrocarbons, we can obtain alkane hydrocarbon plus MgOH with halogen. So we can get hydrocarbons can be obtained, hydrocarbons. So R means alkane, H for hydrocarbons, we can obtain what? Hydrocarbons can be obtained. So this is information about Grignard reagent. How to obtain Grignard reagent? Alkyl halide react with magnesium in presence of dry ether, we can obtain what? Alkyl magnesium halide. This is called Grignard reagent. This is the organometallic compound. Who discovered? Grignard prepared. So this is the preparation of alkyl magnesium halide is called Grignard reagent. In this one here alkyl group and halogen contain negative charge, magnesium having positive charge, partial positive charge. Here the bond between carbon magnesium bond is covalent, which is highly polar, and magnesium halogen bond is what? Ionic. Suppose when Grignard reagent react with water to form what? Hydrocarbon can be obtained. This is the information what? Reaction with metals. Next one is Wurtz reaction. Is one of the named reaction. We can see the Wurtz reaction. What is the Wurtz reaction? Wurtz scientist, he prepared the alkane. So let us see how to prepare. He prepared with scientist alkyl halide react with sodium in presence of dry ether. He prepared the alkanes. How to prepare alkanes? Alkyl halide react with sodium metal. Here take 2 moles of alkyl halide and 2 moles of sodium. In presence of diether, we can get the alkane can be obtained. So alkane RR plus sodium halide can be obtained. So this is called what? Symmetrical alkane. We can obtain what? Symmetrical alkane can be obtained. This is what alkane. Which alkane? Symmetrical alkane. Symmetrical alkane. This is a symmetrical alkane which contain what? Even number of carbon atoms. Which contain even number of carbon atoms. Here how much here number? 2 only. 2 nothing but even number. Which is a symmetrical alkane can be obtained. Once I repeat, alkyl halide react with sodium in presence of dry ether. We can obtain this symmetrical alkane which are having even number of carbon atoms. This reaction is known as Wurtz reaction. Wurtz only prepare the reaction. That's why it is called what? Wurtz reaction. Let us see one example. Suppose the alkyl halide you can take methyl bromide. This is the primary alkyl halide. React with sodium. In presence of 1 more mole you can take, you can see the product dry ether. See the product what you get here. We can obtain the alkane. What the alkane name is? Ethane. CH3. This is alkane. Ethane plus we can obtain the 2 moles of sodium here. So this is the primary alkyl halide. This is the primary alkyl halide. When primary alkyl halide react with sodium in presence of dry ether, we can get alkane. This how many carbons? 2. 2 nothing but even number of carbon atoms. That means by using Wurtz reaction, we can prepare always even number of carbon atoms only. We cannot prepare odd number of carbon atoms. Why? The product is how much? 2. Symmetrical alkane can be obtained. Once the alkyl halide react with sodium in presence of dry ether, we always apply the symmetrical alkanes only. By using Wurtz reaction, we can prepare the symmetrical alkanes only, which are having what? Even number of carbon atoms. We can't prepare the odd number of carbon atoms. Why? The product is obtained only 2. Symmetrical alkanes can be obtained, which are having even number of carbon atoms. As well as methane also cannot prepare by this Wurtz reaction method. Methane having 1 carbon, that's why you can't prepare it. So by this reaction, see Wurtz reaction, we can obtain what? Alkane, symmetrical alkane obtain. This symmetrical alkane also contain what? Even number of carbon atoms. That means by using Wurtz reaction, always to prepare even number of products only. Even number of carbon atoms only obtained. Odd number of carbon atoms you can't prepare. So that is one application. So this is a primary alkyl halide. So next one you can see, if you take another compound, secondary compound you can see. Suppose CH3, here CH3, here react with iodine. So here see, here also halogen, same react with sodium. In presence of dry ether, we can obtain the product. You can see same compound CH3. This will be outside, sodium iodide will come outside. Remaining compound joint as this. Here CH3, here CH3 plus 2 sodium iodide you can be obtained. 2 sodium iodide. This compound name is 2,3 dimethyl butane. This compound name is 2-iodopropane. 2-iodo-propane. See, primary alkyl react with get alkane, here also get alkane. This is a primary, this is a secondary. Suppose see, tertiary alkyl halide, this reaction can be failed with tertiary alkyl halide. If we take tertiary alkyl halide, which easily undergo dehydrohalogenation to form the alkene, that's why Wurtz reaction always react to the first one primary, then again secondary, then after tertiary. This reaction fails for the tertiary alkyl halide. Tertiary alkyl halide cannot prepare the alkane because tertiary alkyl halide which easily undergo dehydrohalogenation to form the alkene. This tertiary, if we take, this is a primary, secondary. If we take tertiary compound or tertiary alkyl halide in presence of strong base which easily undergo dehydrohalogenation, they form the alkene. So we cannot prepare the alkane. That's why primary, secondary, by using primary alkyl halides, secondary alkyl halides, we can prepare the alkane. Asymmetrical alkanes by using tertiary alkyl halides cannot be prepared because tertiary alkyl halides to undergo dehydrohalogenation to form the alkene. So we cannot prepare the which are alkane by using Wurtz reaction. So order of reactive, what is the favor? First primary, then after secondary, least priority tertiary. Now let us see what happened. Tertiary alkyl halide react with sodium, what happened? Let us see the reaction. Suppose if we take tertiary compound carbon CH3, 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 Cl in presence of sodium with dry ether. In presence of sodium dry ether, what happened? What I said, this tertiary alkyl halide fails for the Wurtz reaction. Why? This is a tertiary compound. This tertiary compound to undergo dehydrohalogenation reaction. So what happened? Here one hydrogen, one chlorine. Here this is alpha carbon. This is a beta position. So here what happened? So here hydrogen, chlorine come outside. They form the alkane product can be obtained. Let us see the reaction. Here carbon, here CH3, here CH3. One hydrogen proton element to form the CH2, we can HCl come outside. They form the alkene. So that's why this tertiary compound we cannot prepare the which one Wurtz reaction. So tertiary alkyl halide fails for the Wurtz reaction. Tertiary alkyl halide. So tertiary alkyl halide fails to the Wurtz reaction. Wurtz reaction. So that means if we take tertiary alkyl halide react with sodium in presence of dry ether which easily undergo dehydrohalogenation to form the what? Alkene. Our aim is what? To prepare the alkane. So that's why order of reactivity. So order of reactivity is therefore order of reactivity of alkyl halides is, so what the order? First primary alkyl halide, then after next one secondary alkyl halide, next one least priority what? Tertiary alkyl halide. This is the order of reactive of alkyl halides. So by using Wurtz reaction prepare the alkane, but whereas primary, secondary we can prepare alkane. Symmetrical alkanes can be obtained which are having even number of carbon atoms, whereas tertiary alkyl halides so cannot undergo the which one Wurtz reaction, because suppose if we take tertiary alkyl halides which undergo Wurtz reaction to form the alkene, that means which undergo dehydrohalogenation reaction to form the what? Alkene can be obtained. So that's why tertiary alkyl halides it is failed to explain the Wurtz reaction. So order of reactivity, so within of alkyl halides, what is the order? First one primary alkyl halide, then greater than secondary alkyl halide, then least one is what? Tertiary alkyl halide. So this is the order of reactivity of alkyl halides according to Wurtz reaction. Next one is Frank-Land reaction. Frank-Land reaction. He is also another scientist. Frank-Land reaction. He also prepared alkanes, but he changed the reagent. Here alkyl halide react with zinc metal. So in presence of dry ether. In presence of dry ether. Ujjari is used for sodium metal, but a Frank-Land reaction by using zinc metal, he prepared the alkane. So here alkane can be obtained. So the alkane is what? Here also alkane. We can obtain ZnX2. 2 moles of ZnX2. Suppose see, for example, if we take methyl iodide, we take example alkyl halide, methyl iodide react with zinc in presence of dry ether, we can get the product what? Alkane can be obtained. So what is the alkane? Is here you obtain what? Methane plus, yes, 2 moles of zinc iodide can be outside. Alkane can be obtained. Zinc iodide. This is called what? Frank-Land reaction. Frank-Land reaction, how to prepare which one? Symmetrical alkanes. Here see, alkyl halide react with zinc metal in presence of dry ether. We can get alkane, symmetrical alkane. Next one, reactivity of haloarenes. Reactivity of haloarenes. Let us see. What is the reactivity of haloarenes? Comparison of haloarenes, haloalkanes. You know, haloalkane means RX, aliphatic. Haloarene means arenes containing halogens. Benzene compound containing halogen, that is nothing but haloarenes. Now we are discussing about what is the reactivity of haloarenes. See, haloarenes are less reactive. Haloarenes are less reactive than haloalkanes. Haloarenes are less reactive than haloalkanes towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Let us see the statement. Haloarenes are always less reactive than haloalkanes towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Why they are having less reactivity? There are 4 reasons there. First one is due to resonance effect. First factor is due to resonance effect. Second factor is difference in the hybridization state. Why reason? Due to resonance effect. Second factor, due to difference in the hybridization state or hybridization. Third one, instability of phenyl cation. Instability of phenyl cation. Fourth factor, repulsion forces. Repulsion between electron-rich species. Because of 4 reasons, always haloarenes are less reactive than haloalkanes towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. That means always haloarenes are less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Why? Because of 4 reasons. First one what? Resonance effect. Second is the difference in hybridization. Third one, instability of phenyl cation. Fourth fact is repulsion between electron species. Let us see the reasons. I said because of 4 reasons. Let us discuss each reason. What is the resonance effect? What happened resonance effect? Let us see one factor. Because of 4 factors, haloarenes are less reactive. Now we can discuss a detailed discussion about these 4 factors. Now the first factor is a resonance effect. First factor, what I said, a resonance effect. A resonance effect. What is the resonance effect? Let us see. These haloarenes easy to undergo resonance. For example, see, haloarene, suppose chlorobenzene. Chlorobenzene. This is the halogen. Your lone pair is there. This is a lone pair of electrons conjugation with pi bonds. This is haloarenes. These haloarenes are conjugation with pi bonds. This is the haloarenes. This is the haloarenes. Benzene ring containing halogen. This is called haloarenes. So here halogen having lone pair. So here pi bonds is there. So this lone pair of electrons conjugation with pi bonds. So this halogen contain lone pair of electrons conjugation with pi bonds. They form the resonating structures. Once form the resonating structures, we can see you can observe the different resonating structures can be obtained. So once a lone pair of electrons here conjugation pi bond, this pi bond will come outside. You can get chlorine, get the partial double bond character can be obtained. Here carbon chlorine bond is what you get, partial double bond character can be obtained. So here once the pi electrons come outside, we will get negative charge. We can get this. Now these electron come this side, this bond come this side. We can get one more resonating structure. We can see chlorine, here lone pair. Here now we can this position get the negative charge. This electron come this side, this bond come this side. So on the time once this bond come this side, we can get shift the electron here, negative charge here. And now this electron come this side. This electron comes this side. We can observe the one more resonating structures. Here chlorine double bond character. We can see the resonating structure. We can see here. Now these electrons will go undergoes. We can get normal single bond. The structure 1, this is 2, this is 3, 4 and 5. See, haloarenes to undergo resonance, these are called what? Resonance structures. This halogen contain lone pair of electrons conjugate with pi bonds. So there takes place resonance. This is called resonance. Because of resonance, what happened? You see, a structure 2, 3 or 4. These are what? Resonance structures. These are what? Resonance structures. They form resonance. That's why haloarenes to actually form the resonance structures. These are what? Resonance structures. And one more thing, they form the carbon-chlorine bond is. Carbon-chlorine bond is partial double bond character. Partial double bond character. Partial double bond character. So once this haloarenes to undergo resonance, they form the partial double bond character. When carbon, here also carbon chlorine bond, carbon chlorine bond, carbon chlorine bond. There is a carbon chlorine bond is what? Partial double bond character. Means what? Because of partial double bond character, which makes the bond become stronger and shorter bond length. Which makes, because of resonance structures, the carbon chlorine bond is partial double bond character. Because of partial double bond character, the bond becomes stronger, which makes shorter bond length, which makes stronger bond and shorter the bond length. So shorter bond length Why shorter bond length? This haloarenes to form the resonance structures. Because of resonance, this carbon chlorine get partial double bond character. Because of partial double bond character, the bond makes very stronger and shorter bond length than single bond. Because of shorter bond length means bond cleavage or bond breaking very difficult. So what happened? The bond breaking is very difficult. Clear? So bond cleavage is very difficult in the haloarenes. Therefore bond cleavage in carbon chlorine bond is difficult. Why? These are having carbon chlorine having partial double bond character. Because of partial double bond character, so the carbon halogen bond is which makes stronger, which are having shorter bond lengths. Why? They form due to resonance stabilize. Because these are all what? Resonance stabilized structures. Due to resonance structures, what happened? So this makes become the carbon chloride bond is partial double bond character, which makes bond stronger and which makes bond is shorter bond length. In this time, so because of resonance structures, bond breaking or bond cleavage very difficult. That's why the reason it formed the what? Because of resonance structures, it formed what? More difficult bond cleavage. So there is nothing but resonance effect. First factor, what I said, haloarenes are less reactive towards nucleophilic substitution reactions. First factor, what? Resonance effect. What is the effect? Resonance effect. It forms the resonance structures. How to form? Here haloarenes. Halogen contain lone pair of electrons conjugate with the pi bond. They form the resonance stabilizing structures. While forming resonance, what happened? Here carbon chlorine bond is partial double bond character. Because of partial double bond character, what happened? The bond becomes stronger and the bond also becomes shorter bond length. Because of shorter bond length, bond breaking very difficult. Why? Because they are the resonance stabilized structures. That is the reason they form the more resonance structures. More stability is there. So more stability means which are having a less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. This is the first factor, what? Resonance effect. Why? This is a reason they form the resonating structures. Now, next factor I told. So next factor, what I said, difference in the next factor, difference in the hybridization state. Next second factor, what? Difference in the second factor. Second factor is difference in the hybridization state. Difference in the hybridization state. Difference in the hybridization. What is the difference in the hybridization state? Let us see the difference in the hybridization state. What is the difference in the hybridization state? Let us see alkyl halide RCH2X. Right. Here carbon having sp3 hybridization. If you take haloarenes, here halogen. This halogen having carbon having sp2 hybridization. If you, this is what haloalkane, this is what haloarenes. This is the haloalkane. This is what? Haloarene. Let us see. In haloalkanes, carbon having sp3 hybridization. In aryl halide having what happened? This is having sp2 hybridization. You know, sp2 hybridization, more percent of S character, how much? 33.3%. You know, percentage of S character increases means electronegativity also increases. Is it right? Here sp3 hybridization S character is percentage of S character is here how much is 25%. Whereas in sp2, in haloarenes, halogen linked with benzene, that is haloarenes. This carbon having sp2 hybridization, this carbon having sp3. In sp2 hybridization, a percent of S character 33.3. So more S character, more electronegativity. More electronegativity means what? It is less tendency to release electrons. Yes or no? Here carbon having, here percent of S character increases, electronegativity increases. That means the electron pair is holding bond very strongly. Why? Percentage of s caret increases, electronegativity increases. You know this rule. So once electron increase, what happened? Electron pair, the bond is holding very strongly. In haloarenes, the bond is very strong bond. So very strong means what happened? So because of it has less tendency to release electrons. Which one? In haloarenes, it has less tendency. It has less tendency. It has less tendency to release electrons. So it is why less tendency? Here S character more. S character more means electronegativity more. Electronegativity more means what happened? The electron pair, the bond become very strong. So the bond between carbon halogen bond is very strongly holding. That means it has a less tendency to release electrons. So that's why less tendency means what happened? So the carbon bond cleavage is more, see, very difficult. And one more thing, here the bond length, carbon chlorine bond length is very less. How much here? 1.69 angstroms. That means 169 picometers. Here the bond length in carbon, here bond length in carbon halogen bond is here 1.79 angstroms, nothing but 179 picometers. Here bond length less. In this one, in the haloarenes, the bond length is 169 picometers, whereas in haloalkanes bond length is 179 picometers. So here shorter bond length, bond breaking very difficult. Here bond breaking very easily break the bond. So that is also another reason. So here 1.77 picometers. 1.77 angstroms, nothing but 1.177 picometers. So because of region C, difference in hybridization state. So here hybridization sp3, here is sp2. Here S character 33 point, here S character 25. Which is more? Here in haloarenes, S character more. S character more means what happened? Electronegativity more. Electronegativity more means what happened? The bond become very strong. The electron pair holding the bond is very strong. That means what happened? It has a less tendency to release electrons. That means one more thing, the carbon halogen bond length in a haloarene is how much? 169 picometers. Shorter bond length. So bond breaking very difficult. Here bond length is 177 picometers. Easily break the bond cleavage. So that is the difference in the hybridization state of carbon atoms. So this is the one reason. First reason what I told, resonance effect. Second is difference in the hybridization state. Third factor, we can see. Third factor is instability of phenyl cation. Third factor is instability of phenyl cation. Instability of phenyl cation. Instability of phenyl cation. Let us see. Example, chlorobenzene. Haloarenes only. This is a chlorobenzene. This chlorobenzene to form the phenyl cation plus halogen. This phenyl cation is not stabilized. Phenyl cation is which are having self-ionized. Which are having what? Self-ionized. So is cannot stabilize. This phenyl cation is not stabilized by resonance. Phenyl cation not stabilized by resonance. So that is the reason C. If we take any haloarenes to form the two compounds, here bond breaking takes place, phenyl cation plus chloride ion. This phenyl cation is which undergoes self-ionization. This phenyl cation doesn't stabilize by resonance. That means this phenyl cation not stabilized by resonance. It cannot form the resonating structures. That is the reason. So, and one more thing, see why they are unable to form the resonating structures. This phenyl cation is not stable resonance because the phenyl contain carbon, this carbon having sp2 hybridization. This phenyl contain carbon is sp2 hybridization carbon is perpendicular to the phenyl ring. This carbon having sp2 hybridization carbon is perpendicular to the phenyl ring. Phenyl having carbon, this carbon and sp2 hybridized here carbon having sp2 hybridized carbon and phenyl ring both are having perpendicular to each other. That's why these are not stabilized by resonance. That is the reason, because of instability of phenyl cation. So this instability of phenyl cation doesn't form the resonance, which is not stabilized, because the carbocation containing sp2 hybridized carbon, the positive charge contain carbon having sp2 hybridized carbon, which is perpendicular to the phenyl ring. That is the reason it does not form the resonance. So this phenyl cation is what? Unstabilized. So that's why. So what happened? Because of reason, what happened? They do not undergo SN1 reaction. They do not undergo SN1 reaction. Yes, they so. Because of doesn't. So carbocation is compulsory SN1 reaction. Because of this reason, which cannot undergo SN1 reaction. So because this phenyl cation is what happened? So positive sp2 hybridized carbon having phenyl ring both are perpendicular to each other. That's why it cannot undergo SN1 reaction mechanism. So that is the reason. So phenyl cation having instability. Why instability? It does not form the resonance structures. That's why it is SN1 mechanism can be ruled out. That means it doesn't follow the SN1 mechanism. And last fact what I said, because of possible repulsions. Next fact is possible repulsions. Last fact is because of possible repulsions. Possible repulsion. What is the repulsion? Generally here in the case repulsion between if we take here alkyl halide, this is alkyl halide, this is haloarenes. In case of haloarenes, here haloarenes, this is what? Nucleophile. Nucleophile are also having electron rich species. This also having electron rich, is it right? Electron rich species. This is also electron rich. Here once nucleophile can attacking here, nucleophile cannot attacking on the, this also nucleophile having electron rich. These aryl halides also electron rich. Yes sir, this is haloarenes. Haloarenes. Nucleophile having electron species. These are more electrons donate to electron deficient compounds. But haloarenes are not electron donating. This also haloarenes contain halogen having electron species. Both are donating. So what happened? Electron species having more electrons. This is ready to donate to electron deficient component. Once nucleophile attack on haloarenes, both are takes place repulsion. Why they takes place repulsion? Because both are electron rich species. Nucleophiles also electron rich species. This also electrons more is there. Once nucleophile attack on haloarenes, there is a repulsion between. Both are electron rich species and electron attacking reagent. This is the attacking reagent. You know, this is the electrophile attacking reagent. So this is what? Electron rich species. Electron rich species. So there is a repulsion between. There is a repulsion between electron rich species and electron attacking reagent. Because of repulsions is there, so does not attacking. So electron rich species always attacking an electron deficient compounds. But here also nucleophile electrons more is there. Here also electron more is there. So because of some repulsions there, because of possible repulsions. So both are repulsions. Why? Halogen also contain electron rich lone pair of electrons. They are ready to donate. This also nucleophile electron rich. This is ready to donate. So both are having electron rich species. They have some repulsions there. Because of repulsions, haloarenes are less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. So that's why haloarenes are always less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions because of 4 reasons. First reason what I said, resonance effect. Second reason, difference in the hybridization of carbon. Third reason, instability of phenyl cation. Fourth reason, possible repulsions. These are the 4 factors. Because of 4 factors, haloarenes are less reactive towards the nucleophilic substitution reactions. Right, thank you. We will see remaining next class.